Hey mighty companions, this is Earl Purdy, and I'm going to do lesson 132 from A Course in Miracles. Lesson 132 is, I loose the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? What can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and doesn't doubt the world he sees is real. Nor can a madman be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when the source of your thoughts is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to you at last. Yet is salvation, your healing, your peace easily achieved. For anyone is free to change their mind, and all your thoughts change with your mind. Now that the source of thought has shifted, to change your mind means you have changed the source of all the ideas you think and ever thought or you will think. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts and seeking what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here is the present. Here is the present. Here in the present is the world set free. For as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and you give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pains and tears, and all your sorrows press upon the world and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. Death strikes the world everywhere because you hold the bitter thoughts of death within your mind. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give the world meaning, and what you see upon the world, what you behold upon the world are your wishes. Act it out so you can look on your wishes and think your wishes real. Perhaps you think you didn't make the world. Perhaps you think you just came unwillingly to a world that was already made, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind on what you want to see, and the world must change accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. This central thing that ideas don't leave their source is often stated in the text in the Course. This idea that your thoughts don't leave their source must be born in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. I loosed the world from all I thought it was. Lesson 132. It's not pride which tells you that you've made the world. It's not pride that tells you that you made the world you see and that it changes as you change your mind. But it is pride that argues that you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, impervious to what you think, and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world. There is no world. This is the central thought that the Course in Miracles attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as he can. Each one must go as far as he can to let himself be led along the road to truth. You will return, and you will go still further, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world and can accept the lesson that there is no world right now. There is no false perception. Your readiness will bring the lesson to you in some form which you can understand and recognize. Some people see the truth suddenly on point of death that there is no world, there is no false perception, and rise to teach it. Others find that there is no world in experience that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist because what you behold must be the truth, and yet it clearly contradicts the world and what the world teaches. And some find that there is no world, and some find the truth in this course and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea, I loose the world from all I thought it was, is true because the world doesn't exist. The false perception doesn't exist. And it is indeed your own, and if it is indeed your own imaginings, then you can loose this world from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave the world these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go all thoughts of sickness, and the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again. For this lesson contains the firm foundation for today's idea. I loose the world from all I thought it was. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer, and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation and the healing of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas, because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. Yet if you are as God created you, you can't think separate from God, nor make what does not share God's timelessness and love. Are timelessness and love inherent in the world you see? Does this world create like love? Unless it does, it's not real and can't be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false. For God's creation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was God's thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts that made this world and must set it free, that you may know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares his fatherhood with you, who are God's creation. For God makes no distinctions in what is God and what is still God. What God creates is not separate from God. And nowhere does the Father end and you, the creation, begin as something separate from him. There is no world, because it is a thought apart from God and made to separate you and God and break away a part of God and thus destroy God's wholeness and oneness. Can a false perception, can a world which comes from this idea of separation from God be real? Can a world that's separate from God and love be anywhere? Deny illusions and false ideas, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid on a dying world. Release your mind and you will look upon a world released. Today our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about the world and about all living things we see upon the world. All these false perceptions cannot be there. No more can we. For we are in the home our Creator has set us, along with the rest of creation. And we who are as God created us would loose the world this day from every one of our false ideas, that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute practice periods in which we practice twice today with this. I who remain as God created me would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own identity. Then merely rest, alert but with no strain, and let your mind and quietness be changed so that the world is freed along with you. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers far across the world, as well as the brothers you see nearby, as you send out these thoughts to bless the world. But you will sense your own release, although you may not fully understand as yet that you could never be released alone. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you attempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, say, I loose the world from all I thought it was, and I choose my own reality instead. I loose the world from all I thought it was. You loose the world from all you thought it was. That's our lesson for today. Go to www.earlpurdy.com and check out some more of my Course in Miracles lessons, and let peace extend from my mind and my heart to yours.